Your own understanding, truth under Babylon's empiricism. What up? On here real quick to talk about something very, very important. Mental illness. Mental illness is something that is very, very common and overlooked by most of the population. What is mental illness? Mental illness is a mental, psychological, and relating to neurological disease. It is a spiritual disease. It is a mental disease and a physical disease. It's a dis-ease. You are not at ease. There is a lot of things that basically infiltrate the natural process of brain function to create a false reality, disturbed cognition, and just overall unwell-being. And unfortunately, the system, which I'm not even going to get into, but which is a protagonist of all this nonsense, when it comes to tyranny, mental illness, just immorality, inhumanity, all these things that come along with mental illness being perpetuated by our environment. So, mental illness on an individual basis, person to person, people to people, we are experiencing mental illness as a society. So collectively, we all share the same disease. Most of us, a lot of us walk around knowing that we have mental illness. A lot of us walk around not knowing the particulars of our condition being under the umbrella of mental illness. And a lot of us just are who we are, and when you actually look at who the person is, you will see that they have mental illness. Maybe undiagnosed or unbeknownst to their own self, they just don't know that they have it. I'm here to tell you, you have mental illness. We all have some form of cognitive disease. Now, when it comes to each individual person, you need to understand that it's not your fault. It is not you who is creating this mental illness that you experience. It is something that is reactionary. You are in a position where you have to scramble, fuss and fight, and maneuver your emotions, your perceptions, and everything about your personal self is being contested. So therefore, you have no time to put things in the proper perspective. You have not the ability to evaluate your own situation and compare it to the reality surrounding you and come up with the best path for you to navigate. This is very difficult in a tyrannical dictation that basically wants to claim your soul. I do understand this is something that is rampant. This is something that is, like I said before, perpetuated by the system. And the system makes the people basically conform to an automated idea of unnatural motivations and no regard for each other. We basically create memes in regard to emotional disparaging events. We look at things as if they are meaningless and decide we want to create a humorous backdrop to every serious event and condition that goes on. And this is irresponsible at best. These are things that will tear societies apart. And also the people who have the ability to understand these things, who have control of the resources, control of basically the power in your minds, are able to enjoy all the fruits of your ignorance and basically usher you into a existence that is no more real than the substances used to make plastics and other artificial materials that just create cancerous environments and destroy the natural process of what was meant to take place here. And this is an issue that we really have to address because they will not. will never address mental illness. They will always throw drugs at mental illness. They will always give you a roundabout idea that has nothing to do with your salvation when it comes to these conditions that we all experience on a daily basis. It's a shame, of course, and I really want people to understand that we live in a society based on the perpetuation of mental illness. They want you to be psychotic. They want you to be unstable, and this is shown and proven by all the legislation, all the things that they do in the realm of information, as far as propaganda, misinformation, just false ideologies and tyranny. These are all things that will actually keep a society in the state of mental illness, a collective state of mental illness. We have to stop it. The only way to stop it is internally, individually. The man in the mirror, it was spoke about. Obviously, we remember. These things were taken very lightly. These are messages. These are the ancestors basically trying to speak through people, trying to let you know what is going on, what is happening, to the isness of us. Like, this is not real. They're basically trying to usher you further into augmented reality, which basically is going to do nothing but destroy your biochemistry, destroy your cognition. You're basically going to give all of the process of you over to an automated grid network that cares nothing about humanity whatsoever. And this is where we are going. This is what they are doing. This is why we have all the confusion, all the noise, all the wars, all the propaganda, all the false reportings, all the staged events that are going to claim lives which they do not care about. Understand that these are rituals. These are simply rituals. These are things that they do in order to keep the human element away from their spirit. The assassination of care ritual is something we all practice. We all practice this ritual, not knowing that we are practicing this ritual. These are things that have to happen as per the witchcraft which governs us. So we practice this ritual through our motivations. We're out here for money. We want to basically kill each other and ourselves over the icon of oppression. These icons of oppression are made this way and given this energy, this negative energy, for a purpose. These energies have to be circulated and perpetuated in order for them to circulate throughout the ether. And this is nothing but an information network. The whole entire grid, everything you walk on, talk on, speak through, eat on, live about, it's all an information network. It's all information. Once you get to the point where you can understand that everything is information, you can process this information and apply the data that makes sense. You can apply the data that fortifies you, that makes the collectivity make sense, to the point where the uncollective distribution of tyranny makes you feel as if there is something involved other than yourself within your life, moving you towards destruction. And that is exactly the feeling that you're supposed to get. These are the feelings, these are the emotions tied to our lymphatic system and our nervous system, which vibrates to the point where we're able to resonate and receive signals from all the realms, including the astral realms, and those are the realms where we get our emotional outlet from. No one walks around depressed. No one walks around happy or not happy, which is a false stated emotion. There's no such thing as being happy. That is a state of hysteria. You're happy, you're basically hysterical. There is no such thing as happiness. Hysteria creates a false sense of euphoria. It's for a moment. Laughter is a nervous condition as a result of hysteria. For that moment, you basically express, you can't really put that in a coded word to describe happy. Because, like I said, It's an erratic emotional state based on hysteria in regard to a moment of a triggering or stimulus. It's simply all it is. If you like the feeling, then you like the feeling. So, we create a word or a communication code that tries to describe that feeling. But anyway, not to get off the subject, um, uh, ease, easy is what we are missing. We're missing the protocols that translates to our relaxation as we meander through life here. These are experiences that are to be shared, not to be bestowed upon you as if you're in a constant fight or war or a competitive condition. These are not natural. This is obviously something that's being done to the people, to the masses, and furthermore, we have to understand that there is also an agenda, of course, tied to a particular genetics when it comes to these things. Particular genetics have information, have ancestral connections to the environment, to the ether, to the earth, to what we know as the third dimensional space and beyond. We have connections and code which would read and write information here in this third dimensional space. We are being blocked from it. We are being held from it. We are being ostracized to the point where we have no idea who we are. We're being held from that information. This information is here. You can't stop it. It's going to come out. It's going to come out. People between human beings, 93 beings, and just the process of animality here on this planet, code is unstoppable. Code information is what is at the root of this. It's going to be deciphered. It's going to be let loose, and it's going to be upheld. Be aware that you cannot stop this inevitable process. We will be where we need to be at. We will be where we were, and where we are going is going to be relevant and obvious. Just hold tight. I understand there is a big deal between drugs in the system, misinformation, malware in the system, and all the things that they do to try to keep us separated and confused and in a state of mental illness. These things are known, and retribution is coming.